8. Pre-construction occupancy timeline. The pre-construction occupancy timeline is an important aspect of purchasing a pre-construction property. It refers to the period between the completion of the building's construction and the time when buyers can move into their units. This timeline can vary depending on factors such as the project's size, complexity, and the developer's policies. Here's a general outline of the pre-construction occupancy timeline. 1. Substantial completion of construction. Once the building's construction is substantially complete, meaning it meets all structural, safety, and regulatory requirements, the developer will notify buyers that the property is ready for occupancy. 2. Obtaining occupancy permits. The developer must obtain the necessary occupancy permits from local authorities. This process ensures that the building is safe and compliant with building codes and regulations. 3. Pre-delivery inspection, PDI. Before occupancy, buyers are typically invited to conduct a pre-delivery inspection, PDI, of their unit. During this inspection, buyers can identify any issues or deficiencies that need to be addressed by the developer. 4. Occupancy date. Once the building has received occupancy permits and the PDI is complete, the developer will establish an official occupancy date. This is the date when buyers can legally occupy their units, even though the building may not yet be registered as a condominium. 5. Interim occupancy period. During the interim occupancy period, buyers can move into their units, but they do not yet own them. Instead, they are effectively renting the units from the developer. Buyers are required to pay an interim occupancy fee, which covers maintenance fees and property taxes during this period. This fee is typically calculated based on the estimated monthly carrying costs. 6. Unit registration. The registration process, where the building becomes a legal condominium, can take several months after the occupancy date. Once the building is registered, buyers' units are officially transferred to them, and they become the legal owners. 7. Final closing. After unit registration, buyers must complete the final closing process. This involves paying any remaining balance of the purchase price and obtaining a mortgage, if applicable. 8. Full ownership. Once the final closing is complete, buyers officially own their units, and they are no longer in the interim occupancy period. The pre-construction occupancy timeline can vary depending on the project and local regulations. Buyers should carefully review their purchase agreement to understand the developer's policies, fees, and the expected timeline for occupancy and unit registration. It's also essential to stay in communication with the developer throughout the process to ensure a smooth transition from interim occupancy to full ownership.